ear, reach, stretch, pull. Coming back to the front. This one then comes up, right thumb, right ear. There's many ways I could move. I could just stay here. But in this one, I'm looking to my left, I'm moving to my left, my right thumb comes right to my right ear, and then I rotate, I come around. My left thumb comes up, right, or to left ear, I lean to my right, I stretch, pull. This one's really tricky to learn off video. Hopefully you've seen this with me live already, and if not, you'll at least have a head start, perhaps the next time you take one of my programs. Left thumb, left ear, reach, stretch, come around and go here. First half of the exercise. Second half of the exercise, imagine a milk jug. If you were to go grab it with a handle, you pick it up, go to drink it, whatever. From here, your hand goes like this, it normally goes like that. You need to rotate it over. Your thumb needs to turn over and go toward the floor. So you reach for it, you need to turn your thumb over and make sure your right thumb is down toward the floor. You're now going to grab that gallon jug of milk. You're going to pull it, I'm using my right hand, you're going to pull it to your right side. Then you're going to swing it. You're going to brush your head like this, and now just imagine it turns into energy and you just let it go. Imagine, and then just ground, okay? Because if you look at the dynamics of what that does to a jug, you're not going to set it down. It's actually going to be flipped upside down. Anyway, not to confuse, but you're going to retry it sometime, you know what I mean. Pick up the gallon jug of milk. You pick it up here like this. Normally, that's how you would do it. Instead, rotate your hands so that your left thumb goes down toward the ground. You're going to pick this thing up. You'll pull it to your left side. It's your left hand. You'll pull it to your left side. It's going to swing to your right side. The back of your hand is going to brush your forehead. You're going to go here. Now let go. The milk has disappeared. And then energetically just reconnect that to the ground. I'm going to reach out here with my right hand and grab that gallon jug of milk. My right thumb is up in the air. I'm going to use my left hand. I'm going to turn it down. Because what it actually needs to do is rotate over. So I go in and rotate over. You're not sure how to do that? Hold your hand like this and then just take your thumb and turn it down. That's how to do it. Grab the gallon jug of milk. Swing it to your right side. It's my right arm. Swing it to my right side. It's a pendulum. It's going to go to the left side. This is going to come up. Brush my head here. Whew, that was close. And I'm going to set that down. I'm going to reach here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to take my right hand, turn my thumb over. I'm going to pull that off to my left side. It's my left hand. I'm going to pull it to my left back side. I'm going to swing it. I'm going to rotate. And I'm going to set it down. So I have first movement, thumb to ear, reach, stretch, come around. I have left thumb to left ear, reach, stretch, come around. I have second movement. I go for the jug, but then I turn my hand over. It's my right arm. I take it to my right side. I bring it around to my left, and I bring it back over here. I reach over to pick up the jug. Nope, need to turn that over. Pick it up, pull to my left side, bring it around to my right side, and brush. Unlike some techniques that we do, there's no martial application for this. It's not martial art or something. It's not even really Tai Chi, although some people practice it alongside of Tai Chi. But it's really to open up the meridians in the arms and again, create that lymph flow and so on. So when you're doing this, be mindful about it. Start as simple as this. Thumb, ear, my palm sort of toward the ceiling. Don't hurt myself, okay? It's more toward the camera than it is the ceiling right now. And then just pull and bring this. If I'm a little more flexible and I can reach, then I can actually go palm to the ceiling. And if you can do that, great. But if you can't, don't worry about it. The main idea is to get some of these rotations in the arm that you're not going to otherwise get. There's my milk jug. There's my milk jug. I decide to go thumb, ear, pull the water. I decide to go thumb, ear, stretch, pull, and push the water. Dancing snakes, a little tricky, but do your best. Exercise number 8. We're going to also work on these rotations. Very important. rotations. This is exercise number 8. It is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 block set. 1, 1, 1. 1 looks like this. Martial art, shoo, shoo, shoo. Maybe, really loud and aggressive. You can do that if you want, but you also don't need to do that. It's more about the rotations and the chi flow that we're creating here. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Let's go back to number 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Do though, please make sure your posture is good. Don't be bent over like this, standing weird. As much as you can, sit on a horse. In martial art training, this is absolutely a Qigong practice. We don't ever fight like this in martial art, any martial art I've ever studied. You don't fight from horse stance. It's a training stance. Kung Fu, for example, this is a Qigong practice. Now good form here. 1, 2, 3. If this is a little too hard, here, okay? Whatever's comfortable for you. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, this is 2. Not sure? Open your hands. Are your palms facing you? Then you're on the right track. Close your hands. 1, 2, 3. This one, I don't want to see way out over here. 1, 2 is not way out over here. It stops at your shoulders. And before you do anything, like that at all, if you ever do, okay, even a little bit, make sure you understand where your arms can move and where they can't. Your shoulders and stuff don't really like to go out here. Some people may be that flexible, but in general, your arms don't like to go out here. Your power stops there, right just past the shoulders. So I go 1, I go 2. 3 comes in. I go down, I go out, I go in. I go 1, I go 2, I go 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I told you earlier that 75% of the toxins in your blood are removed through your exhalation. When we make different sounds in martial art, that actually has a Qigong element to it. And what it does is it does help us generate greater power if we're doing some type of power technique. There's greater power in a technique, okay? But what it also does, more importantly for our purposes, is it gets rid of the bad breath, the carbon dioxide, and the bad chi. So the sound I'm going to give you is called hup. In general, it sounds like hup. H-U-P. Hup. So from here you go hup, and here you go hup, and here you go hup, and we go hup, 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 hup. Excellent. Now from here, I told you it's a 6-block set. I showed it to you the first time, but here we go on to the next movement, number 4. It's like 2 punches toward the ceiling, but then the arms rotate out. Some of you, shoulder problems, whatever, you might only be going to here. You've already lost some of your ability to be as flexible there and so on. So don't hurt yourself, whatever's comfortable for you. As you start rotating this more, you might find, oh, I'm starting to be able to stretch and reach like this. But ideally, you want to be something like this. You want to try and keep your wrists straight and not bent. Another tip that I forgot to tell you at the beginning, which is all right, I can tell you now, is that don't worry, is that your fist is closed like this, thumbs out, hitchhiking like that. Now take the thumb and cover over the first 2 fingers. Okay? Same over here, close. Then take that thumb, just the first 2 fingers. Not inside, outside. This way you don't hurt yourself. When you're making blocking motions, try not to have a wrist like this, bent wrist. Wrist is straight. Bent wrist, not only can it hurt you, it blocks your chi. So from here we go 1, here we go 2, here's 3, 4 is like 2 punches going up, but then the arms rotate. Number 5 is the same as number 3, comes in. Go back up to number 4, 2 punches, and then it rotates. Number 5 is like this. Remember, number 3 was like this also. So this is like number 5, number 3, number 3, number 5, number 5, number 3. Now you're going to rotate your hands. They're going to go out. So if you're not sure, you rotate out. But if you're not sure, take your index finger, turn it over, point it in front of you, go out to the side, draw a little line, then close your fists again. Palms should be facing away from you. So you have 1, hup, you have 2, hup, you have 3, hup, you have 4, hup, you have 5, hup, you have 6, hup, and you're finished if you followed that. You have hup, 1, hup, 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 hup. Not so concerned about your speed. And eventually you can build it up. You can have different cadences. You can have different timing. And for those of you who have come to the seminar, you've also played the game with me where I'll say, 1, and then I'll say 2, and I'll say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'll say 3, 3, 3, 3, and I'll say 5, 5, because 5's the same. And then I'll say 2, and 2's like this. It's not like that, that's 6. 2, and I say 6, and that's 6. And I say 5, 6, or I say 3, 6. These are different ways you can mix it up for your students. And again, it doesn't have to be choo, 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 really hard and really intense. It can be easy. 70-year-old woman, whatever, can be practicing in there. 70-year-old man, 80-year-old man, just hup, 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 hup. If you can get that rhythm down, you're going to get that bad breath out. You're going to get the twisting motions, the benefit of that, and so on and so forth. The chi development, the combination of breath and mind and body movement, okay? It's very empowering as well, all right? So, that is, and that was, technique number 8. Technique number 9 is called Kung Fu Push. Remember how we stood earlier, like this in the bladder flush technique? This one is going to be similar to that in a way, in terms of your stance. Again, I told you, stand there, be mindful. I want you to have it almost as if, like in martial arts, we call it certain stances like this, we call them fighting stances. This, for example, is a training stance, horse stance. But this actually, in certain styles, is a form of fighting stance. They actually fight while facing you this way. I'm not concerned about fighting. What I am concerned about is awareness and being alert. Again, I don't want, I'm sleeping, I don't know. I want you to be ready here. Not that you ever have to punch or fight, and yet I want you to have the same kind of energy of focus and awareness there. So, just like we did in bladder flush, this technique now, Kung Fu Push, knees are bent, feet screw them into the floor. From this position here, we're going to start with your right palm facing away from you. Fingertips are pointed down. Left palm facing away from you. Fingertips are pointed up. From here, Kung Fu Push. My right hand is down, my left hand is here. This. You ever watch a Chinese movie or something and the master does this? That would be an exaggeration of a hard style Kung Fu Push. But we're going to do a lot more internal stuff with this. So from here, right palm is down, left palm is facing forward, both facing forward, left finger is pointed up. From here, extend your hands out away from you as if you're extending a push. Don't fall over. Just extend this. Draw this back. Extend, draw back. Extend, draw back. Extend, draw back. Extend, draw back. Very good. So from here now, go to the full position of extension. Your elbows are not totally locked out. There's a slight bend. hold that position. You're now going to take a slow inhale through the nose as you draw your hands back toward you. That slow inhale should fill your belly. I hold the breath in my belly. I'm now going to take my hands and switch them to the other side, and I'm going to and now I'm on the other side. Did I lose you? If I did, it's not a surprise, it's a tricky technique. If you caught it, good for you, okay? But if you didn't, don't worry about it, we're gonna do it again. All right. Right hand's down, fingers pointed toward the floor, fingers pointed toward the ceiling. My right hand down by my hip, my left hand up here by my chest, my neck, something like this. I'm going to extend my hands out away from me. I'm going to inhale. Now, I'm going to take my right hand, and if there's a clock in front of me, you got to visualize a clock in front of you, maybe you even have one. If there's a clock in front of me, my counterclockwise goes this way. So instead of going around the clock the way the clock normally goes, it's going to go counterclockwise, which is what? It's the trick question, but it's to my left. So from here, I'm actually in this position, extended out. I inhale. I'm going to rotate my hands. Both of them are going to go to the left on the clock. So if this is a clock, where's this hand? It's at 12. If this is a clock, where's this hand? It's at 6. This hand, top hand, is going to rotate to my left, and it's going to go to 6 o'clock. My right hand is going to rotate, go to 12 o'clock. Now I'm going to rotate, well actually I won't confuse you. You can also rotate back and forth, but you don't need to get too confused about that. Let's just stay for now. Right hand down, left hand is up, this is out, inhale. Rotate on the clock. Inhale. I go clockwise to my right. Inhale, rotate on the clock. This hand goes 12 o'clock, this hand goes 6 o'clock, I go shh. Inhale. Shh. Inhale, hold, rotate on the clock. Shh. 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 All right, that one's going to take some practice, but that's called Kung Fu Push. One more time. If my right hand is low, actually let's do it on the other side. If my left hand is low, it's on 6 o'clock. My right hand is high, it's on 12 o'clock, and my hands are extended out. I'm going to inhale. Now I'm going to rotate my hands. This one's at 12 o'clock. I'm going to make it go clockwise to 6 o'clock. I'm going to make that hand go clockwise to 12. Shh. Inhale. Rotate left. Inhale. My right hand is high. I'm going to rotate to the right. Inhale. My left hand is high. I'm going to rotate to the left. All right. Now, one of the things that I love about these practices, which might be discouraging to you initially, one of the things that I love about these practices is you cannot focus on other things. You might have to watch the video, just that part, 5 times or 10 times to get it. Don't let that discourage you. That is one of the most beautiful parts of the practice. Because in the midst of your stress, you think, oh, one more stress, I've got to try and figure out how my hands go. No. If you get into this, I'm telling you, you will, if you're anything like me, you will get so excited by it because you cannot think about anything else. You have to think about your Qigong practice. And I can go, I can go. But in order to do that, just to show you that real quick, I have to show up right there. And so this is an opportunity for you to show up to yourself, to your body, to your breath and dial this in. And when you do it, if you do it for an hour, oh my God, to me, it's like it's a vacation. It's a total vacation from my everyday life. All right, anyway, that's an aside for you, for those of you who that benefited. All right, so that is exercise number 9. It's called Kung Fu Push, okay? Exercise number 10 is your imaginary overhead samurai sword. Okay? From here, I want you to go ahead and if you're right-handed, you're going to put your right foot forward in front of you. You're going to put your left foot back behind you. From this position, right foot is out, left foot is back. From here, you imagine drawing a sword. Your right hand is going to be on top of the butt of the weapon. That's the bottom of the weapon, the handle. You're holding it with your right hand. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to put it on underneath like this. If you had a real samurai sword, you would not want to hit yourself in the belly with the butt of the weapon. It would hurt. But you don't have a real samurai sword, okay? So, at least, hopefully, right now during this practice, you're just using your hands. Light tap right on your belt line. Lower dantian. When you finish the sound of this movement, the sound of the movement, the sound that we're going to do with the movement is yoosh, yoosh, yoosh. You want to do it in such a way that the sound finishes right at the same time your hands drop on your belly. So I don't want to see any of this, even though I'm not at home to see it, you know what I mean. From here, I want you to sink. You have the sword, it's up here over your head, whatever's comfortable for you, you know, if you need to just hold it right here or whatever. It doesn't have to be exact. You don't have a real one, okay? Just sit down, it's a chi thing. Sit down, and then from here, let this drop. Keep your head up. Sound, slow motion, exaggerated, yoosh, like Y-O-O-S-H phonetically, yoosh, 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 there's that sh sound again, yoosh, 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 generating heat, getting out poison, building up chi, all right? When you get better at this sound, it can be a little bit more like a bark, so to speak. I'm not going to do it too much because it'll ring too much in your computer at home, but I'll do it a little bit more. It's yoosh, yoosh, okay? Yoosh. I can do it much louder, and it takes practice to do it louder. Yoosh, because in order to do it loud, you have to clear the belly. So if we do a series of those now together, you have your imaginary sword, hold it up. You're not going to bend over, remember? You're going to sit down first. This is up here. And we have yoosh, 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 yoosh. I come up, I sit. Yoosh, I up. Yoosh, I come up, sit. Yoosh. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Later, perhaps, maybe, you know, you can get more ching, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. More fancy with this. For now, ching, here, whoosh. Yoosh! The repetitive sound there. Yoosh, 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 yoosh. It's also very powerful when we gather together in an intensive and everybody's making that sound, clearing the belly, and psychologically what that does to the subconscious mind and so forth. It's very powerful, it's very empowering. Okay, so maybe sometime come out and join us in a live program, maybe get to practice that with us for a little bit. So, moving on, that is exercise number 10, samurai sword, okay, or overhead samurai sword. From here, you are going to place your right hand on your lower dantian, which is just navel center, just below the navel center, okay, Right hand gets placed there. In martial art, left hand also comes here now. In martial art, like in Japanese martial art, ching, shush! When we make a sound, or we do some type of movement, whatever the movement is, to attack or something, like with a sword, the power of that is, you talk to any master, they'll tell you, it comes from here. It doesn't come from upper body. They may have that too, but it comes from here. Shush! Shush! It's from here. Okay? So, in Chinese medicine, this is also a very important place called lower dantian. So, hold hand here, hold hand here. Feet are roughly shoulder width apart, whatever's roughly comfortable there. Knees are slightly bent. This is called Jing Qi Shen. Jing is here. Developing Jing. Jing is essence. Before you can have Qi, you need the essence. You need the vital life force, essence. Prenatal Jing is the Jing, the Qi, the essence that you were born with, okay? That you had before birth, that was given to you by your mom and dad, okay? Once you're born, it's what's called postnatal Jing, what you kind of develop, what you're left with. Postnatal Jing is what we're all working with, because prenatal Jing, you get the idea. If you were prenatal, you wouldn't be watching the video. Alright, so unless you were listening to this in your mother's womb, which would be pretty cool. Alright, so you're holding this lower dantian. Where your mind goes, qi flows. As you practice being still here in this pose, you're going to generate a lot of qi. This could be done for an extended length of time. We're going to do it for just a few minutes. And there's going to be 3 holds in this particular practice. One for Jing, one for Qi, and one for Shen. Jing, again, is the essence. We're building that first. It is related to your sexual energy. If you're having issues with fertility, for example, developing your Jing here is going to be of the utmost importance. In fact, if you've watched the first course, which is now an online course, called Alchemizing Stress and Restoring Balance, you already know how important I think it is to develop your Jing here. Because no matter what you have going on in your body, whether it's a shoulder pain or a knee pain or a low energy, and you keep trying to get your energy back and you just find yourself fatigued or you have anxiety or whatever's going on, there's something going on with your Jing, and usually it's not enough Jing is often the issue. So developing your Jing here, bringing awareness here, where you hold your hands, you're holding your mind, you're going to begin to develop it, you're going to begin to develop a heat, and you are going to begin to charge the kidneys. Once you've done this for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on how long of practice you're going to do, because we could also do it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes at a time for each spot. This is the Jing spot. Here comes the Qi spot. Go to the solar plexus. In Chinese medicine, once I'm feeling the Qi right now. Excuse me for a moment. I just have to stay grounded and connected. Or at least, I don't know what you're feeling at home, but I'm building up a lot of juice over here. I can feel my blood pressure going up, which is not a bad thing in this case. But my aortic vein over here is just pumping, pumping, pumping. So, when we move from the kidneys, we are bringing that energy up even further, up through the spine, and up from the kidneys and through various meridians. And we're going to begin to start activating the liver and the spleen in Chinese medicine. These are some of the next organs that are going to come into play. So, holding this area is of major importance for those of you who are doing healing work on yourself or other people. This is often a dam, it's often a wall for so many people. Breaking through this area, which in Indian yogic philosophy is referred to as the power center, the third chakra, not necessarily exactly as the same as the middle dantian, but in Chinese medicine this area in general is referred to as the middle dantian. It is considered a cauldron, an area where qi can be further developed, further refined. So the first dantian refined the essence, the second dantian refines the Jing further into qi. If you ever get too dizzy or too shaky with this, like I'm activating Kundalini, I'm activating a lot of energy right now. I'm creating that surge of energy that I was referring to earlier in the video when I told you I healed my spine through practices like this. If you need to at any time, you sit down, catch your breath, use your breath to stay focused. If you need to sit down, which is going to be the easier version of this practice, please do. We're now going to take those hands and that energy, we're going to move it up into Shen, which is related to spirit or mind, like greater mind. And whatever energy we generated in the basement, called the lower dantian, whatever energy we generated that we brought up to the midsection, that we brought up into qi, in the form of qi, we're now bringing it into spirit, we're now bringing it into mind. It's a further refinement of the qi, and if you watched the first online course, Alchemizing Stress and Restoring Balance, you may remember, and if you haven't watched it, I'll share it with you, that I talked a lot about the symbol, the caduceus, the symbol of Western medicine, the two snakes on a staff. When you start doing these types of practices, you are activating those pathways. Those are energetic pathways. Your medical doctor may not have the wisdom to share that with you, but if you do the research on that subject, you will realize that those are ancient pathways that come from antiquity and also come all the way back to ancient India and other areas like China and Tibet. So we're activating those pathways. Again, I go into that in much more detail in the first online course. But for now, I'm feeling it. You may also be feeling it at home. I also want you to notice, which I went over in great detail in the first course, all of the swallowing that goes on when you're doing this type of practice. And if you're not swallowing a lot, and your nose is not clearing, and your throat is not clearing, you should be watchful of that also. Because if you're not swallowing at least some, yawning some, you either have a ton of qi and you have no physical problems, or you have pain, you have inflammation, and things like the lymphatic system, like the endocrine system, which delivers hormones throughout your body, cell-to-cell communicators, is not working as well as it could be. So notice your swallow or lack thereof during these practices. Very good. Now you're going to just bring these hands down. We're going to let them hang for just a moment to get a little grounding. I'm going to have you hold right here, lower dantian, just for a moment. Take a breath in. Let your hands fall. This last exercise is called standing tree meditation. Knees are slightly bent. Those of you who took this as an online course this year got to stand in tree meditation for about 20 minutes or so and got to see what that feels like. We're just going to do a very short version of tree meditation But this is a very powerful practice, especially to stand in an audience with a bunch of other people who are standing like trees in a forest. The healing power available there is exponential. It's a very, very profound practice. For today, just a few moments of this practice as a check-in. What's going on with your chi? What's going on with your energy? What's going on with your breath? What is going on in your emotional energy field, which we'll talk more about in this online course in the more extended version of these practices, where I get into greater details about these practices and how they relate to the emotional body and how they relate therefore to these energy fields and how those energy fields relate to both acute and chronic inflammation. So for a moment, be still. Don't scratch your face. Don't move your foot. Just try and be still. If you feel that shaking and twitching like I do, a little bit of shakiness in the spine and so on and so forth, that's the Kundalini starting to become active. Kundalini is like trapped chi at the base of your spine, and when it starts to get active, it gets released in bursts. Those bursts will start to charge through your nervous system, and they will literally clear those energy pathways. They will also recharge your blood, your lymph system. They will turn on your endocrine system and all these different vital, life-giving hormones in your body. This practice is one of the most potent forms of medicine. In the first course, I talk a lot more about hormone, but look into it for yourself. Your hormones are super, super potent medicines, and they literally live in your body. Qigong turns them on. Certain yogic practices turn them on. Absolutely, the practices that I just showed you, turn them on. They will reduce inflammation. They will help you heal things much quicker than you were able to do it otherwise. I've had so many different injuries since I healed my spine, and I've healed those as well with these Qigong practices. So try them on for size. Go back and watch the video as needed. And again, these are exercises that you can share with your clients, your students, etc. They are really helpful to many, many people. Have been for me. So thank you so much. I'm definitely a little saucy, so I'm going to just have both of us just sit down a little bit. Whenever you start to get a little bit too much chi, you're a little bit ungrounded, you need to be sure and just ground yourself at the end of your practice. Sit down in a little bit of a horse stance. You can even sit on the floor, lie on the floor if you need to. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Just like wave a hand toward the floor. Both hands toward the floor. Ground, ground, ground your energy. Put the finger on the floor, touch it, sit on the floor, okay? And then sit a little bit. Just want to make sure you guys are in your body too, alright? Thank you so much. I really appreciate practicing with you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you practice it. I hope you share it with somebody else. I'm David J. Kuhn with Qigong Awareness. I hope to practice again with you soon. Take care, guys.